My project today is on the stages of human decomposition. Decomposition is defined as the breaking down of living tissue or matter. There are 5 stages of human decomposition. First is fresh, second bloat, third active decay, fourth advanced decay, and fifth dry remains. The decomposition of a human body can help forensic anthropologists and investigators to estimate the time of death and the time since death. Learning and understanding about the human decomposition can help give the investigators a more narrow timeline of the events that happened. Decomposition can also help answer some of the questions of the SNOW protocol that we learned about this semester. Specifically, the first 3. Number 1, are the remains human? Number 2, do they represent a single individual or are there multiple individuals involved? And number 3, when did the death occur? Stage 1 is the fresh stage. This usually occurs immediately after death and up to a couple days after. The body starts to undergo changes because of the lack of oxygen and circulation of blood. And these changes are noticed primarily in the human externally in the skin and the eyes. And most of these changes start internally, starting with the bacteria of the GI tract eating at the tissues in that area. Some of the other indicators that are during this fresh stage are livor mortis, rigor mortis, and algor mortis. Livor mortis is the pooling of blood due to the gravity and the lack of the circulation of blood in the body. You'll notice in the picture at the bottom that you'll see some color changes of the skin where it looks reddish, purplish due to that blood pooling. Rigor mortis is the stiffening of the muscles, and that usually happens and peaks around 12 hours after death. And then the muscles start to internally decompose. Algor mortis is referring to the decrease of the body temperature once death occurs. And that has several factors that involve that can affect it, like the weather, the temperature, or if the body was wrapped in something, or if it had layers of clothing on, things like that. This slide is just an example of the changes of the eyes that can happen during the fresh stage. On the left is the clouding of the eyeball, and on the right is kind of the brown coloration of the sclera of the eye, which is called tache noir. Stage 2 is the bloating stage, and this is where we can see the first visible signs of decay on the external portion of the body. Gases are being produced in this stage from the internal decomposition of organs. So sometimes the body will double in size and show distension. In this stage, there starts to become a very pungent, putrid smell, and it also attracts some insects and animals. In stage 3, pretty much the entire body is decaying, so all tissues are breaking down. This is where insects are really attracted to the smell and the fluids that the body are leaking out. So the bloating becomes less because the gases are now leaking out of the body. And in some cases, the body may look wet due to the enzymes breaking down the tissue and creating fluid. In this advanced decay stage, most of the skin is decomposed by now, and also other tissues and organs. Some of the denser organs are still being decomposed. And you'll notice that some materials like ligaments and hair and cartilage are still seen during this stage. Stage 5 is where we will see just the skeletal system of the individual. So all other tissues are decomposed by now, and we are seeing just mostly dry bones and possibly some hair. In this stage, the odor goes away and there is no longer active decay happening. Many factors affect the process of decomposition. For example, cold weather can help slow the process, and hot weather can help accelerate it. A larger body can take a longer time to decompose compared to a smaller body. Depending on the cause of death or the condition of the body, that is a huge factor, whether it's in one piece or possibly dismembered. And also insects and animals, the soil on the ground can help accelerate the process, as well as the plants and the environment surrounding the body. The process of human decomposition is still being researched in hopes of understanding it better. I hope that you were able to learn something from this video.